Do you ever feel like you're living from one crisis to the next? Like you're always putting out fires in your life? And no matter how hard you try to focus on moving forward, as soon as you solve one crisis, another one pops up, and it feels like you're working twice as hard as everyone around you and only getting half as far in life? Well, I promise the universe is not conspiring against you. Sort of. It's not the whole universe, but your brain might be. In fact, if you have CPTSD, your brain has been wired to keep you in crisis mode. I'm going to show you why, and more importantly, I'm going to show you how to break free. I'm Marcy Gray. I'm the founder of Survivor School, a trauma-informed personal development platform built by survivors for survivors. We teach women how to break free from the invisible barriers of trauma so that they can finally reach their full potential. If you're a high-achieving woman with CPTSD, this is for you. And if you have ever felt like you're stuck in survival mode, constantly bracing for the next disaster or looking for all the things that could go wrong, it's not because you're overreacting. It's because your nervous system is stuck in a loop. But by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how to break free and reprogram your survival brain so you can stop living on high alert and start living for yourself. Now, before I show you how to reprogram your survival brain, let me explain why constantly looking for danger is actually setting you up for failure, even when you think it's keeping you safe. When you've experienced chronic trauma, your brain and body get stuck in survival mode, fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. And once your nervous system locks into that hypervigilant state, it treats everything like a potential threat. A missed call from your boss? Clearly you're about to get fired. A text message that just says, hey, obviously somebody's mad at you. And a random noise in your house? Definitely a home invasion. Your brain isn't doing this to ruin your life. It thinks it's doing it to protect you. But here's the problem. When your nervous system stays in survivor mode long term, it actually rewires itself to expect danger, even when you're safe. So instead of helping you avoid disaster, it starts creating false alarms, and you burn through your mental and physical energy, putting out fires that don't even exist. Here's where things get messy. When your nervous system is on high alert, it zaps your ability to focus, be creative, and connect, which are the very things you need to be successful. It's like trying to build a sandcastle while obsessing over the wind and the seagulls and the beachgoers with frisbees, none of which are really a threat to your sandcastle. But you spend all of your energy setting up umbrellas to block the wind and digging moats to keep the people away and scattering breadcrumbs far off in the distance to distract the seagulls. You're so focused on protecting your creation from these imagined dangers that you never actually start building. And by the time you're finally ready, the tide comes and it washes everything away, and you're left with nothing but exhaustion and frustration. You're so busy trying to protect yourself, you can't create, plan, or execute on tasks. You get stuck in a loop of overworking, overthinking, and overcommitting because your nervous system is convinced that if you do more, you'll finally be safe. But it doesn't work that way because no amount of productivity will ever convince your trauma brain that you're not in danger. And if you're thinking, okay, well, what do I actually do about this? Here's where it gets good. You don't just try to calm down and override the survival response, even though it's uncomfortable. You actually have to complete it. See, when your nervous system goes into fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, it's trying to protect you. But when that response is interrupted or incomplete, it gets stuck in your brain and body and it grows bigger and bigger. So the goal isn't to shut it down, it's to let it finish. We use applied neuroscience techniques to help guide your nervous system through the full stress cycle so it no longer stays locked in crisis mode. And here's where it gets even more powerful. Once your brain learns to complete the survival response, you can start retraining it to recognize that good stress, like creativity, play, and chasing purpose-driven goals, is actually safe and rewarding. This rewires your baseline so you can catch the stress response when it's at a 2, not a 10, which allows you to think more clearly, stay focused, and bounce back after life's normal disruptions. So here's how to turn your pain into purpose. Once you teach your nervous system how to self-regulate, you finally get access to your whole self again. And that's when you can turn pain into purpose. Because instead of constantly reacting, you can start creating. You'll have the capacity to build things that matter, take risks without being frozen by crippling anxiety, and to go after what you actually want, not just what feels safe. Now, inside Survivor School, we help you retrain your nervous system so it works for you, not against you. You'll learn how to clear out the old survival programming and rewire your brain for success. So you can finally stop running on fumes and start using your energy to do cool shit. Look, you weren't meant to live in survival mode. You were meant to build and create and connect. But you can't do that when your nervous system is stuck in crisis mode. Now, the good news is you can retrain it. You can stop spending all of your energy bracing for impact and start using it to actually make an impact. And when you do, that's when your life stops being about just surviving and starts being about actually growing. If you're ready to get out of crisis mode and finally use your energy for something better, check out Survivor School. The link is in the description.